So Jake Paul has understandably moved on from Tommy Fury. He's now lined up a replacement opponent who I'll talk about in a separate video. But the reason for this is because Tommy Fury has apparently been forced to pull out of their fight for a second time, ostensibly this time due to him being denied entry into the United States because of this Daniel Kinahan investigation. Now, Tommy Fury responded to the situation by saying that he's still willing to fight Jake Paul in a neutral country where they can both enter. But Jake Paul said that he would fly over to the UK and fight Tommy Fury there if Tommy Fury agreed to accept a purse of 500 grand. And Tommy Fury said that he wouldn't even get out of bed for 500 grand US. So you guys make of that what you will. Now, for me, when you look at Tommy Fury's record here, he is currently 8-0 with 4 KOs. And you look at the opposition he's been facing. It's been absolutely diabolical. Now, I'm not trying to have a go at him here because he didn't have much amateur experience, so I can understand him facing very poor quality opponents this early on. But the point I'm making is he says he wouldn't get out of bed for $500,000. How much has he been getting paid for fighting these opponents? I mean, his opponent on the debut was 102 and 3. So on his pro debut, he fought someone with 102 losses and only 10 wins. After that, he fought someone with no wins and 26 losses, then 2 wins and 26 losses, no wins and 11 losses, no wins and 9 losses. Someone with 2 wins, and someone with 0 wins and 1 loss. And in his last fight, he fought somebody who was 10-1. Again, was he getting paid anywhere close to 500 grand for any of these fights? You guys let me know. If he wasn't, if he was only getting paid, I don't know, less than 100 grand for any of these fights, then 500 grand is not an opportunity to scoff at. If Jake Paul's genuinely willing to go to the UK and fight Tommy Fury over there for 500 grand, I think Tommy Fury should take it. If he's that confident in his ability, he should take the fight. What he has to understand is he's not on Jake Paul's level in terms of fame, in terms of notoriety, in terms of commercial value. He's not. And it seems to me that the way Tommy Fury is talking, it's as if he thinks he is somewhere close to that level. There's a reason why Tommy Fury is pursuing this fight. And that is because he wants the notoriety that would come. He wants the fan interest and the attention that would come with beating a Jake Paul. But in order to get that opportunity, you're going to have to take the short end of the stick. Do you know what I mean? You're going to have to take the smaller cut, the B-side purse. And I guess Tommy Fury is not on the same page as Jake Paul in terms of how big the B-side purse should be. So it all comes down to what he's been getting paid for his previous fights. What was he paid in his last fight? What was he paid in the fight before? Because if it was 100 grand or less, then 500 grand, and I'm talking about US, then 500 grand would be 5 times higher than his highest purse to date. And if he were to beat Jake Paul, particularly if he was to beat him in convincing fashion, then his purses are going to go up massively as a result. Because, yeah, this is not the highest level of boxing that we're talking about here. But when it comes to, the commercial success of an event or the commercial value of a fighter, it isn't necessarily dictated by what title they have or anything like that. It's dictated by how many people they can attract to watch the fight, either in the arena or on the television or whatever the case may be. That's what it's dictated by. That's why Conor McGregor, who'd never had a professional boxing match before, stepped in the ring with Floyd Mayweather, and he earned more money than any other Mayweather opponent apart from maybe Manny Pacquiao. Think about that. This was his professional debut as a boxer. And he made more money than Marcus Maidana, more money than Andre Berto, more money than Robert Guerrero, more money than, as far as I'm aware, any other Mayweather opponent other than Pacquiao. Okay, so it's not about, oh, he deserves this much because he's got this title and he's got these accolades. And I mean, that can play a part in how much a fighter earns, for sure. But ultimately, if you are able to attract people to watch you fight, even if you don't have any great ability, then that trumps titles, that trumps all the other stuff in terms of the split that you're going to get at the negotiating table. It is what it is. So with Tommy Fury, if he was able to beat Jake Paul, subsequently, if he beats him convincingly, subsequently, he gets some crazy purses. And maybe there would be other people. Maybe he would take Jake Paul's place, so to speak, whereby there would be people maybe from the MMA world who want to fight Tommy Fury, or, some of the other fringe contenders and stuff like that. Let's say at light heavyweight or cruiserweight that want to fight Tommy Fury. It could get a lot more interesting for him, and there could be a lot more money in it. So that's my take on the situation with Jake Paul deciding to move on from Tommy Fury. I think Fury, if he's never made close to 500 grand for a fight before, he should take it to have Jake Paul fly over to the UK and face him. I honestly think he should take it, because where is Tommy Fury really going to go if he doesn't take that Jake Paul opportunity? Is he good enough to actually earn those kind of purses by, going through his career and progressing the normal way, like a normal professional fighter would be? Because commercially, this is a way to actually leapfrog fighters in a similar position and earn way more than a guy normally would who's 8-0 and has faced these level of opponents. You see what I'm saying? If he's not good enough to actually get anywhere in boxing, then he may look back on this opportunity if he decides to pass it up with regret. So, yeah, that's my take. Let me know your take in the comment section below.